This is Checking the Diary, Monday, 13th of July, spoken by Elswyth. So, it's been eventful. I really thought I was going to have amazingness happen last week as I finally rejoined the world of reliable, quick internet. But that was not to happen. Instead, I had a quick lesson in fiber versus cable versus telephone lines and everything else internet, and it turns out that where I live, to have the internet I had in the previous place requires a wiring to happen outside. And because I live in a British town with a lot of really old, oddly placed homes, it would have required going through like 5 or 6 different properties, getting permission from every single one. With the reality being that a couple of those properties appear to be empty. Other people obviously are being still very, very careful about who's around them. And so the guy, bless him, could not tell me if it might be a few days or a month. And I said to him, well, I know that the person who lived here before me had to have had internet because she was running a business. So what did she do? And he's like, oh, that's simple. There's a cable media thing right out front. I'm like, oh, so what does that take? He's like, nothing, you just plug it in. So it's like, okay. To be fair, he doesn't actually work for like the internet company, so he wasn't really like shooting himself in the foot. But I also don't think he was really gonna be looking forward to trying to get where I live to actually be hooked up and do all the other stuff. So anyway, I appreciated that from him. I thought then it would be super duper quick to just get one of those little boxes and plug it in, but no, they don't offer picking it up yet because that part of my country isn't open yet. So it had to be delivered. Anyway, it gets delivered on Tuesday. So as of Tuesday, at whatever time the happy delivery man shows up and what looks like an idiot-proof process happens of connecting it, I will no longer be talking about internet delays and everything else. At times, things do seem to work. So if you're hearing this, it means I managed to get enough bandwidth to upload it. And if you're not hearing this, well, it's never going to go out because I'm just not going to bother with it. But it does mean I'll have to record this other part again. So this is what's actually coming up in the interesting part of Spoken by Elswyth, is I have, I'd gotten some really great feedback and had a few discussions in regards to safe words, as well as disclaimers and warnings, about different files. You've probably seen a few more of those pop up. So I wanted to do safe words, and I wanted to do one in a style of my headspace and what I would like to be my safe word place. And I did another one in something that's very, at least in my opinion, it's very accessible to almost everyone to be able to imagine and to quickly use. It's that one is called Tunnel of Light. And so that particular safe word session, if you decide to go through it, it will set this safe word, this place. If any of our sessions and play together gets to be too much, or even, in your day-to-day life, you hit something that is just too much, you can actually retreat to this tunnel, to this light, and I walk you through that process and how to use it. I am giving a slight disclaimer, if you have claustrophobia or fear of tunnels, don't use it. But it's not this teensy little tunnel, and honestly, I think you're likely to be fine. If you have any more questions about it, just send me a message, and after Tuesday, I will get back to you. The other part... Oh, my monitor just shut off. The other part of this for the safe words, the one I had, I think the most fun creating is the castle keep safe word. So that particular one, it has the same idea of it gives you a place, a secure, safe place to retreat to. I don't think it's quite as instantaneous to learn as the tunnel of light, but it does evoke this very good feeling. That one will likely be just on the Spoken by Elswyth website or available on Patreon. So either of those two if you want to find Castle Keep. Tunnel of Light, it should be up today. So if you are listening to me on YouTube, it'll be there. If you're listening to me on the podcast, it'll be there. And if you're listening to me on Patreon, well, you've probably seen both of them. So choose whichever one resonates with you. There's absolutely no harm in doing both of them. Neither of them have anchors or triggering words associated really with them. Instead, this is about you. This is your safe word. And because of it needing to be a place, a mental place that you can retreat to and not a safe word that you can simply say to me, it's important that you pick the one that truly does resonate with you and that you can pull up that feeling quickly whenever you need it. I'll never be offended if you need to use it. I would be interested to hear feedback on why and which session did it. But I don't know. I just felt like we really needed to have something, and I really needed a way to do that made sense. I have some interesting little visits and quirky things coming up as we go. So the safe words will be useful for that as well. I'm not trying to push you to make you safe word, but it's a good backdrop. It's a good thing to have right there in case you need it. The other thing will be after Tuesday, for those who I have personal sessions that we're working on together, we will get more into that at that point. Obviously, everybody will have theirs before the end of the month, just like it has been the previous months. But wow, with moving and so on, this has been crazy. Thankfully, I have plenty of creative time, even if I don't have plenty of resources. So, as of tomorrow, whenever the happy delivery guy comes, life will be pretty much back to normal. I will be back to answering messages usually on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays when you see me. I should be back to a more, it never did have a schedule, did it, for publishing. But you'll be seeing more creative and different things coming out for publishing. And I've gotten, so many well wishes and nice notes from folks. I truly, truly appreciate it. I think my poor phone is worn out from me having to use it as my little mini computer lately. It's just such a trial. It's such a first world problem. And it's funny because I love camping. That's probably my favorite way to go on a holiday is go camping. And I don't care if I have electricity. I don't care if I have internet. I don't care about any of that. But that's doable, right? Because you're making that choice. But on this, when I thought just a few days after moving, it'd be like, ooh, look at this, back to normal in this nice quiet environment and this fun microphone to try out and all these things, just to have it keep getting delayed and delayed and delayed, or just to be able to half work or do something and it takes you 5 times as long as it normally does. It's maddening. And I'm sure other people are dealing with the same thing. I'm guessing for those who are working in an office and now they're suddenly working at home, having to getting hold of your coworkers probably turned into this maddening bit of a chase. I'm lucky in that I've always been freelancing, so while I'm desperately missing my cafe time and seeing my fellow freelancers, I didn't have much adjustment to do, but obviously reliable, decent internet is something that I need for my happiness. So it was crazy. Like, well, it's still doing it. If I try to load certain websites, it feels very much like when I used to live on the farm and had crazy satellite internet. Like, you can watch it just slowly coming down and loading, and you find yourself cheering it on. Anyway, oh, in other news, I did find my vibrator, so that part's good. So have a wonderful Monday. I really look forward to catching up with everyone before the end of this week is over. I'm really looking forward to creating with so many of you. You've just all been beyond wonderful. I love all the positivity. It just makes me want to spank you. Anyway, I will talk to you all soon. Bye for now.